right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, welcome back. This is the GPS podcast,
Hmm.
Guided Primal Sutra podcast. Today we're talking about a really interesting topic that one of our adepts has uh, kindly recommended
Hmm.
and very, very powerful. We're going to talk about energetic grounding using media or symbolism. And this is a topic that I think needs to be talked about because not a lot of people know exactly what natural grounding is. So maybe we can give people a background, right? And understanding that media isn't just entertainment, it's a direct line to your subconscious. At least that's how I see media. Is that every image, every word, every meme, every narrative, carries energy.
Well, it's called TV program, television programming.
Telling lies to your
So
vision, man. Yeah.
I I'm
Tell
not
lie
that
vision.
surprised. And you did ask me a question about what is natural grounding. To my understanding, it's nothing more than you being connected to earth in some form with your bare feet on something to help you ground. And your naturalness comes mostly of you being able to observe your triggers while
Mhm.
watching any movie. The cringier, the stronger the triggers, of course,
The stronger the cringe. Yeah.
the stronger the cringe, right? And the stronger you must sit with it and observe and be with it and allow it, whatever it is, to do so that you can, get over it.
Right. Yeah, man. And I also think that, well, I think of it kind of like energetic osmosis. So, well, shout out to Osmosis, one of my guys, so Vega Prince. But basically, like you're energetically grounded and listening to some audio at the same time. So you're bringing the energy down. A lot of the times we scroll passively
Yeah,
or we're just kind of consuming the content without actually sitting with it. What do these words mean? What do these lyrics mean? And really start to understand deeper. So I think that's the purpose of natural grounding is to understand you're not just consuming content, you're syncing with the vibration of the content. I'm just checking if there's any comments here.
not just people saying hi.
Okay, cool. Glad to be here several days later. Yeah, this is our weekly podcast, brother. So definitely 7 days later. You're right. So when you want to watch a music video, a movie, or even if you're scrolling TikTok,
Yeah.
understand that what does this evoke in me? What does this summon in me? Does it bring fear? Does it bring aggression? Like when I watch fight content, I just get aggressive, bro.
Obviously, because it invokes that aggression within you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like if I set the intention, I choose to feel inspired and connected
Yeah,
from watching this guy fight. Instead of it's gonna mean that, then I will probably have a better advantage in controlling my mind
right.
because it's through a different filter now, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Why did we choose this topic besides, of course, one of the students recommending this to us?
Um, I think it's an important one to really consider because we live in such a social media culture
Yeah,
where everything is instantaneous and dopamine is firing all the time at all cylinders. So, I mean, do we really take time for a post-consumption check-in? Like, how did this affect my energy field today? Does it
we
drain me more? Am I more inspired? Am I grounded?
we rarely do that.
Right.
We rarely do that. I mean, I don't know if you do this, but my morning routines are now, get up, do my toilet stuff, get a shower. Meanwhile, try to watch that mind movie you made for me, like
You
years
still do
ago.
that, huh?
I still do
Dang.
that. I still do
That's
that.
epic. I really need to
Done.
redo that, huh?
Yeah,
Like it's been years.
it has been years. And just play frequencies as much as I can, trying to have a vision of my day
Mm.
in the center of my mind and just doing what I need to do. But of course, I will get distracted because I might be actively seeking that distraction.
Mm.
Maybe I want to watch a story. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I don't want to do something to do with my responsibilities and just get pleasantly distracted.
I mean, think about this though, Ryan. You are also a creator as well as a consumer. Most people on the planet are just consuming. They're not creating
Right.
anything. So it's like they have to learn how to stop just being the audience and start becoming co-creators again. Because if you watch like, let's say you watch a powerful like movie or an archetype, let's say King, and then you start aligning with those qualities energetically, like your nervous system feels more king-like. And then over time, like this alignment attracts real life experiences where maybe you get invited to a royal ball or like you randomly see a king, thing on the back of some car, or
Sure.
you see it in the billboard, right? And so your mind will then give you this because you have grounded it within your psyche. So basically, calm your nervous system through media meditation. That's what we're saying. So while you intentionally watch media with very emotional intensity, flashing lights,
Yeah.
strong narratives, just breathe deep, stay present, learn to relax your nervous system. Even if you're in a movie hall, people are coughing and or it's an overstimulated environment. Think of it like exposure therapy with a spiritual twist,
Mm.
right? So Rion Kati is the original inventor of this method. He calls it natural grounding. You can look
Yeah.
up his work. And basically, he originally framed it as a Shakti meditation. So Shakti
Right.
is the life force energy, the vitality, the wildness of life that is all around us, ever flowing. And if you can observe that quality
Mm.
within let's say you're watching a music video and you're noticing that as you're watching, you're getting pulled towards this certain energy all of a sudden.
Mm.
Like this certain scene speaks to you in some way.
Yeah.
Now, as you can regulate your nervous system while this is happening, this puts you at cause if you were to ever go to any environments, loud clubs, anywhere with the similar kind of environment that you notice in the music video. So these certain scenes, colors, and archetypes will feel natural to your physical body.
Correct.
So it's just basically you got to be mindful to avoid the subliminal programming, essentially. That's mindfulness is a way out, you could say, of that.
How would you describe mindfulness regarding this context?
I would say the awareness of the awareness of the present moment, what's happening now, and your five senses, paying attention to your five senses.
Right.
So
Right.
let's say that we can use different examples. So let's say that let's pick a random movie, right? What's coming up? Coco, like the one with the afterlife, right? There's some spiritual
Still haven't
movies out
watched
there,
that.
huh?
Still haven't
Oh
watched
man,
that.
that's a good one. What was the other one? Brother Bear was another one.
But where's a good one?
Well, these are all Disney, huh? Shout out Disney.
Oh, that's a good one. Spirit is a good one with the horses.
Mm, I haven't actually seen that one.
Yeah, you should watch it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mortal Kombat could be considered one.
Mm. Yeah, I use that kind of, there's that quote by George Gurdjieff, right? If you're meditating and the devil appears, make the devil meditate too. Like kind of just include the meditation as a part of, include the
Yeah,
music video as a part of your meditation. Don't reject it. Don't curate the images on your social media, so
yeah.
much. Just clean up your social media feed. That's what I'd recommend.
Speaking of social media feed, have you noticed like these days there's a lot of random acts of violence on
Very strange. Yeah.
especially with Asians and Chinese. I'm like, what is going on over there?
Wild, man.
Like,
Really wild.
and why is it always those? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Why?
I think it's in a certain sense it might be population control because that's like shock content and shock content really latches on. It's almost like it's a mental virus, like it's an image virus, in a certain
That it
sense.
is.
So, yeah, I mean, nowadays if something just doesn't resonate, I instant block or unfollow and subscribe. I mean,
Sure.
I don't overthink it nowadays. Earlier I used to be like, should I? And then
Yeah,
ponder consequences, now I'm just like,
yeah.
fuck.
I have that with fake accounts that reference the OF stuff,
Yeah,
immediate blocks.
yeah. Media
I don't,
blocks. Yeah,
I don't want to deal with this. They might as well be parasites,
yeah,
If I am to keep myself healthy, I need to stay away from anything that parasitizes me. Not
absolutely.
interested. Leave me the fuck alone.
Absolutely. So, Ryan, let's say that someone asks you this question. Does watching a mermaid attract a mermaid into your life? What would you tell them?
Plausible, but
Okay.
depends. You're tracking the mermaid energy, not necessarily a mermaid.
Right. I mean, it's symbolically speaking, right? If you immerse yourself in the energy of watching that fluidity, emotional depth, allure, you're gonna seek those qualities in your external world or
Of
through,
course, because the inner
yeah,
world will seek it. If
right.
you do literally a 90-day challenge of just watching mermaids,
90-day
yeah,
mermaid challenge, yeah,
yeah, something's gonna happen.
definitely. Especially if
Because
you do it before sleep when you're in that sleepy state. Yeah,
I might do that
definitely.
tonight. I do have a mermaid subliminal.
Uh,
Anyway, the point is, you attract what you are,
hmm.
and as you are becoming, as you're again consuming of this content, you are becoming of that frequency.
Yeah, you're tuning and aligning to it. So you're drawing people, opportunities, real life mermaid experiences. I don't know what that's like. Ryan G may know. Okay. So
How willing are you? How willing are you to drown in the ocean of love and lust?
damn, that's poetic, bro.
How willing
I
are
don't
you?
know. How willing are you? Yeah. I don't know, audience, what do you say? How willing are you guys to dive in the ocean of love?
That's yeah. Does Country Fine News agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Country
thought
Finest
so.
is one of Ryan's merman
Yeah,
guides, you could say.
yeah,
And yeah, if you don't know and you're listening to this podcast for the first time, we're basically neo shamans from two parts of the world speaking to you right now. I'm from India. Ryan G is there in the Netherlands.
correct,
But what connects us is this path working Primal Sutra. We're both co-founders of Primal Sutra. How
correct.
would you explain Primal Sutra for just a newbie, a beginner, an NPC who has no idea what we're talking about, Ryan?
Making old school wisdom of the ancient sages easy to understand, also by
Mm,
using modern technology, such as what you're using
yeah.
right now.
Make sages cool again. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, that's one way to say it. It's like being a neo shaman. It's
totally.
like more than just new age. It's in the name of Prima Sutra. The way of what works. I don't care really if it's ancient wisdom passed down from generation to generation, or the wisdom comes from literal primordial spirits, or even, modern technology. I could care less. Does it
Right.
get the job done? If the answer is yes, hey, let's add it on to the knowledge. Let's
Right.
see. Matthias Online says, I know about saturation, like binge watching TV series or gaming in my youth. Yep, same. The 5 a.m. Yep, sounds familiar. The impact on the subconsciousness is interesting. Like it gets into your day-to-day life. Yeah, absolutely. Back in the day, especially between 20 and 22, I gamed like crazy.
Mm.
Looking back, I was using that as a coping mechanism.
Mm.
A coping mechanism because I was having a hard time even socializing. I was in a completely new environment.
Yeah, and think
I had
about
no
how
friends.
easy it is to socialize on a video game or like
Oh,
on,
so
you
easy.
know,
I can be whoever I want. I can be in
exactly, right?
whichever
Yeah,
period I want, whatever country I want, whatever fantasy I want, depending on what's available,
right. So we're kind of like, think of us as like real life video game characters. That
Ah,
we're here to
that's what you're
hand you
going
like the
for.
scroll,
So you're
you
talking
know?
about character yoga,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Yeah.
hmm, a branch off from deity yoga. Could you explain that for a second, and then we continue on with the topic?
Yeah, yoga is to yoke or to unite. So
Right,
deity yoga is to unite with the deity. You and the deity are one. Therefore, you have their skill sets. You lose your identity, your false identity, and then you take on the identity of the deity.
correct.
Um, and you
And
can do this also with characters and cartoon characters and things like this when it comes down to character yoga. So
correct,
if you're inspired by an anime, for instance, or something.
correct. I
Yeah.
mean, now taking it back to the consumption of content, as you consume, so you become. If you
Hmm.
take that idea, it's just an idea.
Yeah.
Um, the more sugar you consume, the more sugary you become, so you become diabetic at some point,
You
right?
become
I
sugar consciousness. Yeah, basically,
right? I
at
don't
some
know the
point.
exact science behind this, but I can imagine. Yeah, if your piss starts smelling a
Five
little bit too
signs of
serious,
sugar consciousness. Yeah.
yeah, maybe leave the cupcake. You know what I'm trying to
Sugar
say?
crashes throughout the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Then it does the same thing with the other senses. And the same thing
Yeah.
with friends. Do you want to be associated with certain people? I mean, if I look
Mm.
at the situation with my ex, if I look at the situation with the now becoming former wrestling team, a grappling team I was a part of, soon to be was, I
Hmm.
realize if I'm going to follow a leader, he better be a man of character or woman of character, high character. I want to see backbone. If decisions need to be made, I want to see a backbone. Like I want to have someone I can look up to. And based on this week's development, I realized, nah, I do not want to consume the contents of or these individuals. It doesn't
Hmm.
bode well for me to learn from them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's so crucial to understand Bruce Lee's philosophy
Which one?
of absorbing what is useful,
Yeah,
discarding what is useless,
yeah.
adding what is uniquely your own. I think a lot of people forget the last one, but adding what is uniquely your own is one of the ways you stay in that creator consciousness, right? You are in the cause in that sense. If you're adding, you're not taking away. A lot of people think that I have to take away someone else's power in order for me to gain power. It's a strange paradoxical maneuver, whereas the power is found internally. So it's like it starts to create a weird dynamic, let's just say.
Why? And what do you mean by very dynamic?
Like, let's just say that you as a consumer, you have all the power to double tap on this post.
Yeah,
However, if you keep going through it and you're on this autopilot for many years, you might not even notice what you double tap on sometime,
I've been there.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like years later, you might pick up like from the storage unit or file or whatever, you double tapped on this post from 2014 or whatever, like, and that's where the world is going to nowadays. So it's like it's important to understand what the content we're consuming really is, and if we're double tapping on it, it means we're giving our energetic consent to that content. So it's
Right.
important for us to understand we have the inner power. We don't always need to rely on an external substitute for our power.
Correct. Correct. You know, one of my favorite things to do is I like to go on my stories and see who has seen it, who are
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
consuming my stories. Even if I
totally.
didn't necessarily produce it, I like to just post jokes and music or whatever. And sometimes you would have these OF accounts that just try to contact me and shit or view my stories.
Yeah, the bots. I
Block
mean,
it.
yeah.
Block all bots and artificial stuff that is aligned with the
Also,
channel.
people who go in with just an immediate sales pitch is also an instant block.
Immediate. Okay. Like,
Not even a hello, what's up? How's the weather? Like something to kill the fucking, like just watch out of the sale, you know?
exactly. Yeah,
But yeah,
you'll get that.
this is why vibrational marketing is so, so crucial for us spiritualists, light workers, light masters. Because what did I just say? My mind just
Vibrational
blanked.
marketing.
Vibrational marketing, right? So in the spirituality industry, transparency is king.
Absolutely.
But what people are doing nowadays, if you notice a lot of spiritual TikToks, they manufacture their authenticity. They make it seem like they are being authentic and forcing it instead of actually being themselves. And that, I think that is another layer that sort of takes away from the spiritual content because it's spiritual content, right? And if you're consuming a lot of spiritual content, you're also consuming that spirit, that essence.
I can see that.
So
Uh-huh.
I'm just thinking about like these modern day influencers, Wes Watson or like I Show Speed or any of these people who are like media moguls, you could say. Andrew Tate is an example, right?
Yeah,
Um, if you're consuming a lot of one style of content, you're going to notice that appear in your feed more,
of
but you're
course.
also going to notice it in your own behaviors.
Well, if you live amongst the wolves, you're gonna have
Wolf
traits,
problems.
you know?
Yeah. Damn, that's a very profound statement, yeah. If you
So
live
it
amongst
isn't
the
that
wolves,
far
you have
from,
wolf quality problems, yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you're surrounded by uber wealthy people and you start to act like them in order to get the same results, because let's face it, if
Mm.
you associate yourself with wolves, hunt with wolves, etc., you
Yeah.
will pick up on their behavior and they will pick up on your behavior and you will again, monkey see monkey do, exactly. You're gonna know where the best caribou is, etc., where the drinking water is. I mean, look at the comics. Wolverine spent years with wolves, if
Hmm.
I remember correctly.
Right. Raised by the wolves. I
Tarzan
think
is also a
that
good example.
it's so interesting too how flow backwards is wolf.
Yeah,
I still think about that. Like, what is the maybe my mind just tries to make a connection when there is none. Like a lot of spiritual people love doing that shit,
all right.
you know?
I have, by the way, Tixel, I have no idea who Wes Watson is. Uh, just as the fact
Yeah.
we're streaming both on Zoom and YouTube. That's why I'm also talking to someone else.
Wes
Uh,
Watson is that prison guy, the one who's tatted up, big muscular dude, shaved head, you know? Yeah, he had some kind of like a fight video go viral or something where he's beating some guy up in the gym and all his boys join him and you know. Is he going to jail?
probably,
Maybe. Uh, but he can
probably.
handle it. He's been there before, you
Yeah,
know? So, yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
good. I still have no idea who Wes Watson is, but if you name him long enough, maybe he'll show up. Who knows? How cool would
Mm,
it be to do a podcast with? Yeah, that. It would be
mm.
funny. It would be funny. Anyway, back to contents.
Tickling the algo and mind mingle can be dangerous. Yep. Tickling the algorithm. Yeah, I use that term as
I mean,
well.
I've taken a lot of things and never really tickled the algorithm, but yes, if you keep consuming bullshit content, a lot of things would happen. I remember at the days I used to work for like big corporate, I used
Mm,
to watch for some reason I have this random obsession with gore and horror, etc.
mm,
And I would always watch it when I was just depressed or something, and it would just
mm.
keep me in that cycle continuously
Yeah.
until I just s- deliberately went cold turkey like nearly forever.
It's like, you know how you when you take ketamine or whatever, you're in a K-hole. This is like that kind of thing. It's like you're
Yeah,
in that hole, you're in that horror hole or whatever, you know. Yeah.
there's a joke here, and
I
I'm not
know
gonna
there
make
is,
it.
I know. Yeah, you were on YouTube, bro. Careful. Careful.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm allowed only one swear word per episode apparently, so I never really use it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. We're barred from anything uncensored. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah,
One of
guys, if you guys have any questions, definitely
I
ask
just
us.
please ask, go ahead. One of the
Yeah.
things I do want to address is you as the shaman, medicine man and woman, however you guys see yourself as, one of your main priorities every day is to raise your vibration and to keep that vibrational bar as high as you can. So imagine you're getting fired. There's some trumped up charge against you, blah 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 blah. You need to start looking for a new job, and you will be obviously tempted to seek justice. But in seeking justice, you might also seek revenge, yada yada yada, and you're gonna end up in some negative spiral. It is now your job to get out of it. And
Mm.
usually what happens, and I've seen it with me, I've seen it with others, you tend to fall back on vices. And one of the vices, again, doom scrolling, etc., right? And you will start consuming things that,
Yeah, as Saint Germain said in that channeling, is like if you call it doom scrolling, you're gonna be in doom, right? So
yeah,
it's so important, yeah. We change the words as well of culture. And
and I,
honestly, there's so much weird dystopian stuff going on too, right? Like if you watch some of the media. But what I would say
yeah,
is dystopian imagery can also be used as a reminder of the power to create a better reality. So it's really what you're focusing on, I would definitely say. Like
yeah, yeah. What you give is what you get.
like
Where your focus goes, energy goes. Yeah.
I remember certain times, Ryan G, by the way, it's 11:11. I am
Oh
flow
yeah.
state embodied. That is my affirmation. I remember just listening to an audiobook that really changes my understanding or frequency, something that is in deep stillness or presence, maybe a
Yeah.
spiritual practitioner. And I'll just walk on the grass as I'm listening to the audiobook. So I'm natural grounding the audiobook in nature. And I've noticed that I'm actually listening better for some reason. I'm not overstimulating myself as I do
Well,
that.
my theory is natural grounding also creates room, or grounding creates room in the mental
Right.
space.
Definitely.
Um, I see it a lot with the IT guys, right? Because I'm also part of the group. If we don't spend time in nature, we're gonna start burning out quicker. We have
Yeah.
to take walks in nature, like it's like a forest in that direction.
It's
We
tough
have
to
to.
detach. It's really tough because we live in a very oversensitive world.
Oh yeah,
However, just say to yourself, it doesn't matter at times, or so what, or learn how to say, I don't know and I don't care, learn to just understand that and like affirm it to yourself, really, because the thing is, the bookmarks in your mind are going to come up again. We bookmark so many things in our mind, like I'll
yeah,
save that for later, but we never get to it, and it causes a stockpile of like irritation.
yeah. It's
So,
like tabs, right? Internet tabs.
yeah, unclose internet tabs in the mind, right? So through your meditation or through any flow state activity, I would say, you're just closing those tabs. You're just getting back to pure awareness again. You're understanding I'm the one behind the joystick of the video game. I'm not in the game as the character.
Correct. But what if someone does not have grass available or
Yeah.
something, or just can't walk on a grass pavement, let's say. Not that
This is
easy if you're, in a building.
this has been a very important question you asked, Ryan, because I think a lot of people, especially people who are like in cities or who live in concrete all the time,
Yeah.
it's tough for them to find grass, man, touch grass. So um,
Well, we're
I would
talking
say,
specifically, football grass, nature
I mean,
grass.
I guess sand also kind of works, but you're not in like rural Arkansas, probably. You're like in maybe in New York City somewhere or something
Yeah,
like
and
this.
it's
So,
cold outside.
and it's cold outside. Yeah. So, so basically, what was I gonna say about this topic? Um, what were we talking about earlier, Ryan?
Natural grounding cement.
Bro, that's what we've been talking about this whole time,
Yeah,
though. Yeah.
yeah, because let's face it,
Okay,
the
so
content we consume.
acupressure slippers is the answer to your question. Acupressure slippers.
You just find it on Amazon.com. Do not buy anything from Temu. I don't trust
From where?
it. Temu, not
Oh,
from
okay. I don't
Temu,
use that.
not from Shane, whatever it's called. Maybe Alibaba,
Right. AliExpress or whatever, yeah.
AliExpress. Yeah, maybe,
I never ordered from
maybe.
there, but yeah. But yeah, get acupressure slippers, and if not, use your creativity. You're a freestyle shaman, paste some stuff on your regular slippers, mix something cool, wiggle your
Cool.
toes in the ground somewhere. You'll find it.
Massage your
Find a way.
feet.
Massage your
That tends
feet,
to happen.
get a tennis ball, step on the tennis ball, roll around
Yeah,
with it. So many ways, so many ways.
sort of tension in the feet as well that must be taken care of. Yeah,
Remember the horse stance I was showing you, Ryan, and you said you did
yeah,
that already in martial arts for a
yeah.
while?
It's so
Yeah.
fundamental,
Yeah.
and you have different forms of the horse stance as well. It's so fu it's funny to me that
By the
yo,
way, YouTube, we're saying horse, not whores, okay? Please get it straight. Okay.
that's fair. I have no idea who
Yo,
said yo, but yo to you as well. XTO,
yo,
whatever that is.
it's Christos.
It's Christos.
It's
Who's
young
Christos?
Christos. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah, if you have any questions around this topic, basically avoid
Or any
passive
topic.
consumption, man. Just notice your body's response as you're consuming content. Even if you're listening to us right now,
Yeah.
just walk it out maybe. I don't know what you guys are doing. Maybe some of you are multitasking right now. Or I have this open on a different tab with something else running, another thing,
I'm multitasking. I'm
You're
I'm doing an
multitasking,
interview
obviously.
with you. I'm watching the live stream at the same time.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
that? Man. Oh, yeah, you're at work right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
interesting. So,
Ooh.
yeah, like for instance, the movie Coco, right? It highlights a divine bond between the living and the deceased, and they do it through these bird-like beings that are like afterlife beings. So you get to notice that and see that in the actual movie, these kind of feathered serpents, right? Like,
Mhm.
and that movie just reminds me of the power that spiritual themes have in terms of a movie. Remember that willow tree in Pocahontas? You
I
remember that?
remember.
Man, there's so many examples like that that just spirituality just like starts to seep in. I know, of course, there's magical, dark magic, cult symbolism, of course, right out there, satanic symbolism. However, I think we should also focus on what is the real, who is the real creator of the content? You know what I mean? Because if I'm watching, like, let's say, The Simpsons, I'm a huge proponent and representative of, I'm giving my energy to Matt Groening, the creator of that. I know maybe there's a different creator now.
Makes
He's not
sense.
living more anymore. But however, it's the same origin point. It's the same Primal Sutra, right? So that when The Simpsons started, that's what made them a long-lasting, one of the longest lasting TV shows, right?
Lasting long is important, yes.
Lasting long is important. You heard it here, Primal Sutra. Ah, man, it just sounds like a condom commercial. Anyway,
We will be
back
sponsored
to
one day. I have a dream, really.
Yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
yeah, I mean, this is what we do, guys. We podcast, we fuck around, we goof off, but we also get shit done. If you
mm.
guys have any questions, definitely let us know. Otherwise, we're gonna have fun, on these.
Let's see. We've been going on for 34 minutes. Are there
Okay.
aspects of this topic, media symbolism decoded, that we have not
Mm,
addressed, that should
mm,
be addressed?
mm. Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes what I've noticed is if I sit with an organic substance near me, like a crystal, or it could even just be a block of wood or just like a plant, potted plant, something nearby,
Yeah.
it changes my experience of getting that content. And I think one of the guides told me this, but basically it was the idea that when you have something organic around you, and let's say you're getting these subliminal messages like flashing in your eyes every 5 seconds when the ad goes off,
Mm,
you can bypass that and recycle that to nature. So you can send it to the plant, you can send it to the rock, and you can actually avoid those negative circumstances. So
mm.
something that is an absorbent or a sponge with its energy, you can definitely try that. Um, it's a powerful technique. Some
Which
people
plant
can even
or
use
rock would you recommend? Like amethyst?
amethyst or well, grounding stones, so hematite, tourmaline, these types of stones that more earthy tones. Um, Earth stones or earth crystals, you can maybe type in and find some. Just ones that ground, specifically made for grounding. And but all crystals ground in their own ways, right? Because they
Right.
are
Just, some
gravity and
crystals
yeah, infused.
work better than others.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's important for us to consume the right kinds of media and focus on the images from that. For instance, like let's say vision board, right?
Right.
For health, I have Dalsim, Bruce Lee, Osmosis Jones, Video Jump Wall. I'm just seeing my wall, right? Dragon Ball Z. Like as I look through this, was that guy's name Ryan G? Tom Holloway? The maybe it's Tom Holloway or something Holloway.
Which movie?
No, the fighter,
Max Holloway.
Max Holloway, right? I see Max Holloway. I see the Chad Sigma guy or
Right.
whatever, and I see some dude doing parkour, right? So these are all representations of flow from different perspectives for me as I've written health. So there's different aspects of media collage that I have with the title health. So you can try that. Just write the title health or relationships or wealth, and then underneath it, collect pictures from different magazines, different, newspaper clippings, different books, different printouts, and make something epic for yourself. What are you seeing,
Right.
Ryan G, for yours?
Well, I'm still building mine. Mine has a lot more to do with going back to source, going back to me, removing everything that is not of me. So I'm still
Right.
building my vision board. What I did was I took like a A3 paper and just started writing. I have like 365 days to both, you know, get back to myself, get back to source, and try to stay in that pocket, whatever that costs, which means connecting with the right people,
Mm,
forgiving the right people. It also means having a better connection with my spirit guides, and more importantly, evolving as both.
yeah.
He who is of the vision of abundance path, as well as a shadow shaman, and that's all it needs to be. And anything that comes up regarding complaints or desires, um, daydreaming, if it comes up more than twice, I might have to put it on a vision board because it's on my mind too much.
Yeah.
Like, let's empty the mental RAM and just put it on a piece of paper, maybe create a sigil for it as a remembrance, and just keep doing the
Yeah.
work.
Like the image could even be your survival strategy, but you could also think of it as an answer to your problem, the images you're getting in your mind. So let's
Yes.
say that the tiger energy is fierce and protects you from, assholes.
Depending on the asshole, to be honest, but yeah.
Ba-dum-tsh. Bro, there's these weird, vulgar, old-timey songs, vinyl, like band vinyl. And I kept
Okay.
seeing this on my post. I would like try to calm myself through this meditative process, listen to morphic tones of positivity, and I'd just say eat my ass or or something like this. I just get so thrown
Are you sure?
off
Are you sure it's not
because
a prank from Drupa or something or BBA?
no, no, no.
They,
I made sure. I made sure it wasn't a prank from the guides or anything. But this is the thing, right? My girl taught me there's a way to like unsubscribe, do not follow this. Yeah, do that shit. Okay. Go to the notification thing and just be like, I don't want to see this. Like actually do that. Welcome, Ferris. Unique symbol boards, exactly, bro. Yeah. Yeah, add a sigil in there, add a a strange thing you drew in 12th grade that you hid underneath the bed and you still think about it and dream about it. It's like a weird imagination thing. Bring it back,
yeah,
resurrect it,
yeah,
bring that memory back because that nostalgia is consciousness gold that is waiting to be mined. That's how we
correct.
see it. Brain
Looking
dump.
back at, let's say, my mornings, I start to realize what is often on my mind will be manifested because
Mm.
I'm of that frequency. I realize that I'm slowly parting ways with some frequencies because I don't think about it too much anymore, and I'm more accepting of more positive frequencies. And bit by bit,
Like
I'm
chipping
becoming
away,
more.
right? Because the word
Exactly,
character means to carve, so we constantly have to carve, 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 carve.
exactly.
Yeah.
Gonna read a message from TXL. I've been told from TXL, I've been told if you blog a lot of content from being shown, then you will be
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe. What? More because you're taking the time.
Oh,
Oh,
given.
given.
Giuseppe.
More
You've been
because you're
given
taking the time to give the platform an honest critique.
honest
Okay, yeah, fair,
critiques.
fair enough.
That's true, yeah. So do that. Give feedback. I give feedback on all those like restaurant forms when they ask for it. I always do that shit, because it's
Mhm.
like it's important to have some measure, right? We understand that we might need structure in this path working, so now we're adapting with it. Like you guys are going to
Speaking of
get that
adapting,
structure.
we do
Yeah,
know that this is the year of the snake, specifically the wood snake. Hey
yeah.
yo, and
That's a double entendre if we ever heard one, bro. Wait, major pause on the wood snake.
and this year
But
is
yeah,
also the element of Mars. Why the element
Nagas
of
in Paris.
Mars?
Nagas in Paris. Yeah. Why Mars?
Yeah,
I think it's a planetary thing because it's the year of Haru, as far as I've heard from Haru. He said it's his year. I don't know what exactly that was, but it's a rise in Haru consciousness. So there's going to be maybe an energy of that, of war, of Mars, of aggression, but channeled in the right way, you know?
of course.
It's so interesting how my mom pointed out to me, she's a Mars energy, and she projected, I guess, onto me, like you're being very aggressive in your content, right? She noticed this.
Okay.
Maybe changing mannerism, maybe something I said, maybe I said a swear word. I don't know. My
Say,
mom,
tell on the I
right?
said hi. That's one. And two, well, if this is the year of Mars, for Primal Sutra especially, does that not mean it's time to start planning to head over to Sedona?
Mm, that might be a good idea actually, because Sedona is the abode of Sanat Kumara's portal, as well as Shivaji's uh, humble abode. Also associated, I think Akura is also technically associated with Sedona in some way. Uh, don't tell me how I know that, but I know that.
Eh, this path is full of mysteries.
Absolutely.
So it's very likely they'll be heading to Sedona this year. So looking at you, yeah, exactly, hell yeah, TXL. So we don't know the specifics just
Oh
yet.
yeah, we also have that guy we interviewed on the podcast. Well, the other podcast. So. We're gonna bring him on this one though. Yeah, but he's in Sedona as well, the Quetzalcoatl guy.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
The 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 vegan guy. Yeah.
We'll talk to him about that. I'm sure we'll
What
you
always
know.
confused me is, he and I both like or prefer to consume, lower entities and
Yeah,
then
and I
have
think he's one of the first ones who's actually talking that there are positive, good reptilians out there, and they're, you know, draconis beings that are also for the good. Like, don't, badmouth them or put them in a box or like say that these people are all like this. Like,
I
it's
agree, I
like
agree, but
stereotyping, alien ethnicities or whatever. I don't even know what that is.
let's not be alien racist. This is what he's trying to
Alienist, yeah.
alienist or whatever.
Stop being a starseedist, bro. Yeah,
But he has a point. If there are truly good apples amongst all of them, and I would like to get to know them and do
word.
something productive. Yes, absolutely. I believe we've reached the 45-minute mark according to the streaming information I see in front.
Cool.
The big reveal is likely we're heading to Sedona this year, so TXL, you're pretty much there. So it's likely that we're going to be landing either via Detroit or one of the other cities and then heading over to New Mexico. And then from New Mexico, we could do a road trip or something. I believe it's like a
Yeah.
2-hour drive.
Yeah,
2-hour
let's
drive
figure it
is
out. I mean,
nothing.
we've planted the seed now, so it's in the ether. So now all it has to do is catch up to the right wavelength.
Exactly. But then does it mean do we want to do a Stonehenge in June or are we gonna skip it?
I'm thinking we probably skip it. I think Sedona seems to ring more important in my mind on my list of objectives this year. Just because of the rebirth theme and Sanat Kumara being directly connected to Vaiwamus, who is connected to my higher self lineage, the ascended master lineage. So,
I see.
um,
So yeah,
yeah,
with
Egypt is going to be dope too. But when we go,
Egypt
because
would
you're
be
going to
dope
have the
too.
Serapis Bay downloads at least, or your
Yeah,
higher self
but
downloads.
one trip at a time. One trip at a time. Uh, so looking at UTXL later at some point the coming weeks, you can start talking about logistics and whatever and where we want to go, and we'll see who we can take along the ride. So those of you who want to join have even yet to decide on the pricing of this because it will be a student immersion. I have a
Yeah.
rough idea of what we're going to be doing. It is going to be very road trippy, and then we'll be visiting different cities around Sedona, and it's likely that we'll be getting in contact with healers within that area and seeing what we can do.
Bro, should we start like an opposite trend from brain rot? Let's just call it brain heal, like or like what's the opposite of rotting?
Fermenting? No, that's
No,
not
brain fermentation sounds like a sketchy clonade like group.
rotting. Growing?
Mm,
I don't
word.
know.
All right, brain growth. Yeah, I like it.
Right,
Give your
because now you're
brain a boner.
selective. Right, so
All right,
let's start
let's get it.
ending this podcast
Yeah,
because we
yeah,
already
let's
hit the
end it.
clock.
Let's end it. It's
Ladies and
time
gentlemen,
to,
this
yeah.
has been
Peace, guys.
Guided
Much love.
Primal Sutra on GPS. I wish you the very, very
Much
best.
love, much love.
Hopefully, we'll be seeing each other in Sedona somewhere this year. We're definitely going to see TXL in Sedona, and may your life never be the same.